This is dedicated to the niggas that was down from day one. Welcome to Death Row.
Like we always do about this time.
Hold on. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another music, not actual music, but shit that involves music reaction video. Today we're reacting to It's Time for Us to be honest about UK rap. Now I know this shit came out a month ago, but I didn't have time to watch it because I was reacting to other things. Now, let's talk about UK rap. The UK rap, in my opinion, I can't fuck with it. The only artist that I can fuck with when they come from the UK is one, MF Doom, and then two, 21 Savage to a certain extent. But number one is gonna be MF Doom. But yeah, like those are the only two artists from the UK that I can fuck with like that. But when it comes to UK rap, I like Central C. I can't fuck with him. That's the only UK rapper that I know. That because I don't listen to that shit. That shit doesn't sound good. But let's just get straight into the video and see what Hip Hop Madness is talking about. Original video will be in the description. Let's get straight. That's how I. Oh shit! That's exactly what they sound like too.
That sounds ridiculous. There's nothing macho to me about. Listen here, blow.
Frustrated.
About give me more money. On a poor blow side. Ole.
Niggas drooling while talking.
For decades now, there's been a long-running stigma against British rappers, especially in the States. The issue doesn't necessarily come from the nationality itself, because Americans have historically embraced anyone from the UK, just as long as they're fully, quote-unquote, Americanized.
He's top 10.
This is where the likes of the legendary Slick Rick, Moni Love, and MF Doom factor in, as well as new rappers like 21 Savage, who, except from a few memes, has never really had his growth stunted by being British. But for British rappers whose culture hasn't been shaped by an American upbringing, it often feels like they're hitting an unfair ceiling when it comes to success in the US, and it's definitely not because they lack talent. In fact, today, there's just as many impressive MCs coming from Britain as there are in the US, if not more. So how did we get here? Well, to paint a full picture, we need to take it back to the 80s.
Okay, let's listen.
Back in the day, the biggest ambassador of UK rap wasn't actually an MC himself. Instead, it was a DJ, who had risen up through the ranks to become an unlikely and ill-fitting mainstream representative of the British scene. Debuting in the early 80s, Tim Westwood was one of the first to play hip-hop on sound systems and pirate radio. He'd then be given his own show on Kiss and Capital Radio before landing his primetime show on BBC Radio 1. This eventually led to CD compilations bearing his name while being distributed in major British supermarkets, and even hosting the regrettable UK version of Pimp My Ride. But thanks to his spot as the host of UK's top radio show, Tim Westwood became the go-to guy for any US rapper visiting the UK, whether they were promoting new music or dropping freestyle. Tim's show was the place to be. At times, this created gold, with rappers delivering some of their best 16s. But in the process, Westwood's presence also created plenty of cringe-inducing moments that, due to his international platform on YouTube, haven't really helped the cause. Despite sounding like he was from the British trenches, Westwood was actually straight out of Lowestoft and the son of Bill, the late Bishop of Peterborough. Basically, he couldn't have come from a posher neighborhood, but he clearly...
Now, the one thing, I don't know nothing about the UK and shit like that, or there's trenches out there. I'm pretty sure there's, and niggas be stabbing each other out there. So I can't say nothing about his background or shit like that. But once I find out about your background, I'm gonna expose you, man. Your darker secrets are coming out.
Bought into the image that he was a real street sweeper, and at times his behavior got really embarrassing, like when he had a very public meltdown after having his record stolen at a show. On live radio that was broadcasted across the nation, he proceeded to threaten the man who had stole his quote-unquote joints, as though this skinny white dude was intimidating.
Now, if you know this dude, this is your opportunity to help him out. Go cop those joints, phone the station, we'll tidy this up, and that's all it will be. Because we've got a fast car waiting upstairs. Now, we are ready to drive back to Sheffield tonight to handle this. Because I want my joints back, baby. So I'm going to be listening to 50 Cent all the way. By the time I get into that place, I'm going to be ready to ask for my joints back.
While it was hard to believe he was ever taken seriously, Westwood truly was an ambassador for UK rap for a long time. And for what it's worth, he seemed to genuinely love the culture. Still, his position didn't come without its hurdles. For a start, there was his pronounced quote-unquote black scent that's been critiqued over the years. And as the representative of hip-hop in the UK, him basically mimicking an entire culture didn't help matters.
You being very prominent in the UK scene and you present yourself in a certain type of way, you hear people criticizing the way you talk.
The way you talk, my brother, it's like I live this, man.
Right.
This is me, man. This is what I do.
I'm a friggin' hip-hop DJ. How am I meant to talk? How am I meant to rip down a club? Am I meant...
Now, what do I have to say about the black accents? It's one thing. It's so crazy how the quote-unquote black accent, how that's a thing, how you sound black or you talk black. One, that's a crazy thing to say. Because, like, what does that even mean? But I guess it's, like, in the area that you grew up with. Say, for example, if you grew up, like, in the South, like, deep South, like Louisiana or, like, Mississippi, and say, like, you're not black, say, like, you're white and you grew up in a neighborhood where it's predominantly black people, you're obviously going to take in some of the shit that they say and how that they say shit and what they do. And then that's going to create your character, or you're going to add those characteristics that you've seen and learned and heard to your character. Like, for example, I saw this one video. It was supposed to be a prank video where this black dude walked up to this Asian girl, and then he was like, I know what you did. And, like, the way she was talking, like, she sounded black. And, like, people in the comments were criticizing her, saying, like, why is she trying to sound black? But it's like, well, it's because probably the area she grew up with. Because if you, like, looked at her and, like, you really, like, heard her talk and, like, you heard her, like, accent, then it's like, okay, like, you know, like, her shit is real. Like, you could decipher between what a quote-unquote black accent is real and a black accent isn't real. But it's still crazy how we say a black accent, like, you talk black or you sound black. Like, what is that? Like, what does that mean? That's a crazy thing to say. Like, what the fuck does that mean to sound or talk black?
Sound like anything different? I can't apologize.
I don't really like the idea of a black accent.
It's hard to believe, but 2024 is already coming to an end. Feels like just yesterday, Ice Spice was dominating the charts. Like
black?
That was the talk of the internet, and Diddy was still known as Love. But as we're already gearing up for the holiday season, it might be the perfect time to step your cooking game up.
What the fuck is this, bro? I thought your ass was getting to the video. Oh, what, bro? What? That else so all this cooking nonsense.
I can't apologize for being white. Can't.
However, these days, Tim is no longer a factor, and in 2022, he was accused of predatory behavior by 10 black women, with some insiders claiming his fate was overdue. Still, the fact remains that for many years, Tim Westwood was one of the first names that came to mind when less informed US rap fans thought about the UK scene.
I know that's not ugly ass French Montana. Please get that ugly douchebag off my screen. Thank you. Oh my gosh. UPS over Amazon. Please get out my face. Thank you.
Scene.
Chapter 2. Ollie G takes over the world.
An over-the-top parody of British suburban kids who loved hip-hop, Ali G's comedic take on British rap reached a huge audience around the world. And over time, it even resulted in his own motion picture in 2003, just around the same time that legitimate MCs like Jest, Uzman, Flashnikov, and others started to take off in the underground rap scene. It was always widely rumored that Westwood was the inspiration
for this actual rapper. I thought, like,
piece from the Globe and Mail in 2002 detailing that the character was a white affluent Jewish kid imitating a lower middle-class white suburban kid imitating a black Caribbean immigrant kid. But rather than being done in an uncalculated way, the comedian who played Ali G, Sacha Baron Cohen, explained that his satire of the character was supposed to be well-meaning. After all,
I thought, like, he said, like,
he was just a left-wing public school boy whose college thesis, the Black-Jewish Alliance, a case of mistaken identity, argued that the black and Jewish communities should culturally band together. Still, just like Tim Westwood, Ali G cast a large shadow over UK hip-hop. Now, if these were just isolated incidents, the UK rap scene might have had a chance to move past the lingering effects of being mocked. But even today, UK rap is still heavily clowned, and to make matters worse, this mockery often goes viral. For example, take a look at comedian Michael Dappa's career, most notably Big Shaq, one of an array of characters that he became known for. Dappa took off with the reveal of Man's Not Hot, a parody of roadman culture that garnered over 400 million views on YouTube alone. To put it into perspective, that's more views than any other UK rap song has ever received on YouTube. The problem, though, was that people weren't sure if it was meant to be taken seriously or if it was a joke. In fact, many even hoped it was legit.
His name is Big Shaq, and I'm upset because I thought Big Shaq was an actual rapper. I thought that song, Man's Not Hot, I thought he was dead serious when he was in there with Charlie Sloth. Come to find out you're a comedian.
It's funny
itself, there's nothing innately wrong with what Dappa was doing, but it was how it was received by the rest of the world that was the issue, as it further marginalized UK rap, and, frustratingly, allowed for more parody rappers to reach similar heights. Today, Unknown P is pulling in more listeners than many actual
video.
artists, appearing on platforms like Daily
And
Duppy
Hova.
and Fire in the Booth, he's
Right
blurring
in
the
the
line
Range
between
Rover.
comedy and real
Big
rap.
ass nose.
And like with Big
Looking like
Shaq,
the Black
some
Sherlock
listeners might
Holmes.
not realize that the man behind the character, Munya Chihuahua, is actually doing satire. Once again, the UK rap media has been complicit in pushing this comedic character over real artists, leading to anyone who is just getting into the scene to potentially mistake this as real.
You say you're the
So it's gonna
first
be harder
UK
for
posh
UK rappers to
drill
make it out the
rapper.
scene 'cause
What
they keep
ends do
making
you
fun
actually
of
claim though?
UK rap.
So
and people
I
not
am
gonna
from
take
the
them seriously.
party capital of the country, Surrey.
Well, you
I
can't
don't know
really
if you've
say
ever
that
heard my
because you
Fire in the
have
Booth.
artists from
There's a line in
rappers
there,
from the
I'm
UK
from
that's
Surrey,
made
where
it
me
out.
and
Like
the
you
band
have
them
doing
always go
21,
hunting, and
Slick
the girl
Rick,
them
that girl that
thick,
he talked
like
about,
Theresa May on
Central
Real
C.
Big Bunting.
Then there's Drake, who unfortunately has regularly fallen into the habit of using the UK as his personal playground, even cringely adopting the accent on tracks like Only You with Heady One. And although his attempts to showcase UK rap on 2017's More Life seemed to come from a genuine appreciation of the culture, it didn't really resonate with US listeners, with many labeling the project as his worst. So what exactly is the state of UK rap in 2024? Well, unfortunately, it continues to be people who aren't true representatives of the rich culture that bubble to the top. For example, the fact that a YouTuber like KSI is one of the few UK rappers to ever chart on the US Billboard doesn't exactly help. Over the course of his music career, he's featured with Rick Ross, Lil Baby, Polo G, and others.
Why is he talking about him? I cannot take him
for
seriously.
Lose, landing him his first Billboard chart position at number 86. Now, that might not seem impressive, but it's a lot more than many high-caliber British MCs have managed to muster up, even with the help of major labels. If a genuine MC could have amassed that sort of who's who of collaborators, it might propel them into a whole new lane, but instead it was a rapper who just saw music as a side hustle and couldn't shake the YouTube rapper tagline. Now, after a prolonged spell of pursuing other things, KSI is regrettably back to rhyming, and it seems the internet has finally had enough. Given all the hate KSI is getting right now, it's pretty clear how we contributed to setting back.
Here's the thing about rap in general, and it's this simple. It's either one, your shit is good, or two, your shit is ass. It's one of the two. It's not decent. It's either it's good or it's ass, and depending on whether if it was good or not, people are gonna take that momentum and use it positively in a manner where it's going to get played everywhere. People are going to use this shit for like inspirational videos or hype videos or etc. Or if it's ass, people are going to clown you and use it for like meme videos, and they're just going to clown you. So, I mean, with UK rap, in my opinion, yes, you have great rappers from the UK, like I stated many times before. But yeah, all these other rappers from the UK or just UK rap in general, this shit is ass, and that's why people are making parodies of it and not taking it serious because it's not good. It didn't say like, for example, with Central C, in my opinion, Central C isn't good, but in other people's opinion, Central C is good. Central C made it out, so I mean, he hasn't really done anything with that momentum, in my opinion. And people were like, he's just falling off, or like he's just disappearing.
Exception of the UK rap
and then
scene
this
in
nigga
the
right
eyes
here,
of some
like, bro,
Americans. However, even if KSI's music was good, there are still major obstacles to overcome, and this is where we need to touch on the British accent.
The British accent.
For context, the UK isn't even unified when it comes to accents. Within Britain, certainly accents carry their own stigma, creating an ingrained social issue that still needs to be tackled today. Within the UK, there's a huge variety of linguistic nuances. For instance, the slang in Liverpool or Manchester is completely different from the lingo you'd hear in London. Plus, London itself is so culturally diverse that dialects and accents can vary a lot within London. So, it's no surprise that some UK artists found it easier to ditch their accents altogether, with hopes of being accepted in the US. British artists are thankfully far past the point where they're trying to emulate American accents. But the problem is that those on the other side of the Atlantic still can't deal with it.
There is something about UK rap
Why are you showing me
that
this
is like so.
Check out the video I did.
It's like they haven't paved the
him.
roads.
I couldn't get
in
past
the
the
studio.
accent. That's not how they talk, though. They use proper English.
Proper English is not how you speak to me.
You could put this down to just ignorance, but many Americans ultimately don't care to see the layers and just amalgamate it all under one umbrella of British.
Looks like we have another British person visiting America. These guys are so hard to understand.
Oi bro, you're looking very dishy today.
Thanks.
You have some in the Caribbean Park.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy how we think about these stereotypes towards other people and like other people from different countries. But it's like people from different countries also have stereotypes on us Americans, which is even crazier. Because I was on Omegle with my friend. We came across a nigga. He's from the UK. I forgot what part of UK. And we was talking to him about it, and basically he was clowning us because he was clowning us about mass shootings, football, hamburgers, the white woman. That was his ideology and picture of the U.S. and Americans. I was like, man, that's crazy. And then my depiction of you is you at a pub with fucked up teeth and speaking blah 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 blah. Like that's like so crazy how like how we have imagery of like other people and other people have imagery of us.
What the is he even trying to say? That's pretty cool.
In reality, there are so many shades of gray, with rap scenes popping up everywhere from Glasgow to Birmingham. The talent is there, and riches are being found on a local and national level. But it's that transition over to America that continues to be a lingering problem, as even some of the best and brightest have had major issues trying to crack this notoriously closed-off market.
What is this?
Taco Bell's decades menu
Don't
is
eat
here
Taco
with
Bell,
some of
y'all.
your
Y'all
old
is about to
favorites,
get
like this
dysentery
tostada
and
from
die
the
from
60s.
diarrhea.
The greens-
Like this shit is the 1800s.
Major issues trying to crack this notoriously closed-off market.
Chapter 4, the British rappers who tried to take over America.
Among the most iconic names that the UK ever spawned, Dizzy Rascal became a legend almost immediately with the release of his seminal debut album, The Boy in the Corner, a platinum-selling project that even landed him on the Billboard charts at number 44. With that, he began collaborating with Americans, even signing to LP's Def Jux label. But while he remains a legend in Britain to this day, that early buzz didn't translate to anything. And while he became a major influence for stateside rappers like Danny Brown, the momentum in the US came to a standstill. Annoyingly, this would become a recurring trend for UK artists, with early buzz in the US never translating to a long-lasting career. Tiny Tempo was momentarily a huge star, even getting a chance to work with people like Kelly Rowland and Snoop Dogg. However, his quick fade into obscurity after Written in the Stars peaked at number 12 on the Hot 100 didn't do much to convince US consumers or labels that British MCs are worth investing in for the long haul. Then there's Kano.
I mean, he's probably going to talk about it. So, they're talking about all these artists. Well, I'll just wait.
Incredible legend in the UK who even got a Hove cosign. But unfortunately, he released the worst music of his career while trying to break America, leading to him sounding like a half-baked parody of an 808s and Heartbreak era Kanye West on Rock and Roll. No further progress was made, and he's more likely to be recognizable to Americans as Sonny from Top Boy. Then there's Chipmunk. After 2009's I Am Chipmunk made him a star in the UK, he continued on his grind to the point that T.I. signed him to his Grand Hustle imprint. In 2012, he looked to launch into the stratosphere with the mixtape London Boy. But despite T.I.'s attempts, London Boy didn't even chart on the UK Top 100, let alone the US one. Since then, he was dropped by T.I. and has been independent ever since. Another artist who made a concerted effort was Stormzy, a London-based MC who's never had an album that didn't go #1 in the UK. As well as 3 other #1 singles as a lead artist, he's a certified legend in his own backyard, but yet again has failed to make a dent in the US. Skepta is another talented UK MC who failed to translate the cosign of certain US rappers to something further. After fostering ties to ASAP Mob as well as deep connections to Drake, which led to Drizzy getting a BBK tattoo, tracks like Praise the Lord with Flacco helped to give him a real boost in stature and landed at number 45 on the Billboard chart. But there was still clearly a ceiling. An album like Konnichiwa, which is certified gold in the UK, peaked at just 160 in the US. Gold in the UK, overlooked once more. We could probably go on for rappers who haven't made much of an impact. However, there is one UK rapper who's actually starting to change things in the US. The catch? He might not be the best representative of the UK rap scene. Emerging out of the pandemic, Central C became a superstar in a mere matter of months. A self-described student of the game, Cench has been determined to break boundaries that have otherwise been stumbling blocks for other UK rappers. And sure enough, he did it. Through the runaway success of tracks like Doja and Obsessed With You, he became the first UK-based MC to obtain over 1 billion Spotify plays in a single year. And for him, it comes down to how he utilized social media to his advantage. Since then, he's gone from strength to strength, breaking into the Billboard charts with features alongside J. Cole, Drake, BTS's Jungkook, and others before managing to revive Lil Baby's career with Band for Band and its subsequent virality on TikTok. And rather than being an accident, this was all very intentional from Cench, who set his mind to seizing control of America like no UK rapper before.
Is this the first time that a UK rapper could arguably be in the top 5 of rap? I think Central C might be knocking on that door. Top 5 relevant right now.
However, it's fair to say that while this is an immense achievement, he's certainly not going at it alone. Recently, he inked a $25 million deal, which is exclusively for distribution of his music in the US. And in case you're not up on record contracts, this is borderline unprecedented for any artist. What's become very clear is that Central C is a shrewd businessman, with his success and bargaining power coming his way because he mastered the algorithm like few before. But there are plenty reasons why he might not be the best ambassador for the culture. For one, as he chases fame and fortune, his focus on the marketing side of the industry has led him to sacrifice some of his integrity for tabloid drama and PR stunts, like his fake relationship with Ice Spice to promote a rather mid-song. By contrast, a rapper that Central C has collaborated with recently on Split Decision may be the perfect artist to take the flag for the UK and run with it. In recent years, Dave has been gaining praise from all corners for his incredible wordplay and charismatic delivery.
So hold on real quick. I mean, yeah, I mean, even the first part I was gonna say was how all these UK artists didn't make it because they did something or they didn't take their momentum with them, or they made a song and then the song didn't do good and fell off. So I wonder, like, I mean, with Central C, I don't listen to him, but in my opinion, I haven't heard Central C in so long, so I feel like he is falling off, even though, like he said, he's taking the business aspect of things and making a living off of it, which is good. But I'm talking about, like, music-wise, how come MF Doom was, like, so, like, big and, like, so able to get the spotlight that he did, especially coming from the UK. I don't know, maybe it's because MF Doom really put like the underground scene on for like rappers, whether it was like US rappers and then UK, well, I mean, you could say MF Doom, he did make beats too. MF Doom rapped and then made beats because that's the entire pro era was rapping on his shit. And then Our Future was influenced by him. I don't know, that's just a question. How come MF Doom, how come MF Doom was able to make it mainstream, especially in the time and era that he was in? Because, damn, I don't know what I'm trying to ask, but y'all get what I'm saying.
Albums like Psychodrama and We're All Alone in This Together, he's pushed the narrative forward, blending street-oriented tracks with deeper compositions that really get to the heart of what it means to be black in the UK. While it's clear he's a potential superstar, he's not alone. Right now, the UK is seeing a surge of talent at various stages of their journeys to success. However, there are reasons why some of this talent has been stifled, and it goes beyond just being seen as a joke or having an accent.
Oh my gosh, all these ads, Dunkin' Donuts, that shit do look good, but don't eat it though, that's fat. 2025, we're not gonna do nothing fat. Is that Mr. Beats? What is this? Oh, Anderson .Paak, big ass forehead.
However, there are reasons why some of this talent has been stifled, and it goes beyond just being seen as a joke or having an accent.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how come MF Doom wasn't seen as a joke? That's the question I wanted to ask. How come MF Doom wasn't seen as a joke? It's a great question. I mean, that's for y'all, the audience, to answer.
In recent years, the country's blossoming drill scene has been strictly policed and censored to the extent that it may remain localized forever. Led by Operation Trident, an initiative by the Metropolitan Police that was intended to tackle black-on-black crime, the law enforcement in London has done the most to suppress the spread of drill music, which it deemed to be a danger to the community. It even extended to censoring what words could be used. While certain former prisoners weren't allowed to release music without consent directly from the police, the ongoing quest led London's Metropolitan Police to create Form 696. In essence, this scheme forced venues to submit this form to the police before an event, which asked not only the genre of music that be performed, but the target audience. As a result, many shows from drill and grime artists were canceled by the police on a discriminatory and often racially biased basis.
Damn.
To make matters worse, YouTube removed 319 drill music videos at the request of the London Metropolitan Police. Because of these restrictive orders, there are many acts who looked prime for a real breakthrough, who then had all that momentum squashed.
Were you guys getting shows shut down?
Yeah, the whole tour shut down.
So you guys sell out this tour. How long after the sellout did you find out that there's problems?
We found out on just the week before it started. Yeah, just the week before it started.
After the Metropolitan Police finally scrapped Form 696 due to major backlash, the momentum of countless artists never really recovered, leaving many talented rappers to instead fall back into the life of crime that the Met were allegedly trying to prevent. Here, we see a clear suppression of free speech under the guise of police work, and if the same thing were to have happened to America's drill scene, there may be countless prominent artists who we wouldn't see today. So what's the solution? Well, ultimately, the US isn't everything, because much like famous bands from Britain who never broke America, there are plenty of spitters from the UK who are routinely racking up #1 albums in their home nation and other European territories. Ultimately, the US has a superiority complex when it comes to hip-hop, and while Central C's recent invasion of the charts is encouraging, it's not likely going to be a sign of things to come, no matter how hard UK rappers are spitting on a routine basis. That said, there are audiences for people like Little Sims, Nux, Lord Apex, and others in the States. They just won't necessarily be chart toppers, and considering where we were years ago, that's progress in itself. Instead, it serves as a niche market. Beyond that, UK rap is now an entrenched part of culture itself, with hip-hop making up 12.4% of the UK albums market in 2022. So whether the US likes it or not, British rappers aren't going anywhere, and from time to time, they might even break through to the elusive other side of the Atlantic. But what is becoming clear is that if their sole focus is on doing that, then they're ultimately selling themselves short. As the legendary Wiley says, the key is to appeal to those who support them, rather than search for acceptance.
This is what I'm trying to say, like, we search for acceptance, we search for blah, blah, we search for... Listen, instead of us worrying like, oh my God, America hear us, the people who can hear you, feed them, speak to them. And if anyone comes in and says, oh, I really like that, then it's a bonus.
That's a bar right there. Oh my goodness. Stop looking for acceptance. Feed it to the people that actually fuck with you. Damn, that was a bar. But all right, what the fuck is this? What is this? No. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end it here. Once again, this was whatever the title of the video was. Original video will be in the description. Comment y'all thoughts about what y'all think about UK rap and UK artists. And yeah, shit like that, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'll see y'all on the next one. Grandson out.
Since you ain't, I even, and all of, and it, justice, and even, and all of, and it, since you ain't.